procedural, the whole doing.
Agenda 626.
Sioux County. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, as usual.
But that's part of it. We do a lot of,
624, I got
That's
the
it.
minutes, Okay. If we could, well,
What?
I'll print out the agenda. Okay, but anyway, I got, agenda stand approved is presented. And we'll go ahead and open up the meeting. Sorry, we had an elected officials meeting, we just got done. So,
Henry County Commission, Henry County, Missouri, Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, 23rd day of the April term. The Henry County Commission met pursuant to adjournment at the courthouse in Clinton, Missouri. Those members present were Jim Stone, presiding commissioner, Jake Bradley, North District Commissioner Mark Larson, North District Commissioner Kelly Merritt, County Clerk. At 9 a.m., Commissioner Larson attended a walkthrough for final inspection on Northwest 400 Road Bridge in White Oak Township. At 9:05 a.m., Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. The agenda was approved as presented. The minutes from the Tuesday, June 17th, 2025 meeting were read. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Stone seconded the motion. Motion carried. Expenditures for the following departments were approved to be paid: Buildings and Grounds, General County Government, Circuit Clerk, Law Enforcement GR, Elections, Road and Bridge, Assessor, Law Enforcement Training Fund, Sheriff Revolving Fund, Inmate Security Fund, Capital Schools, Opioid Settlement Fund. Margaret Coleman addressed the commission regarding the senior citizens tax freeze. She shared that she thought the timing of the county passing the freeze and the assessed valuation notices going out were oddly coincidental. She continued to express her concern with how the seniors were getting notified that the tax freeze was available. Mike Rosier spoke to Mrs. Coleman regarding the senior citizens tax freeze. Jake Bradley shared Missouri statute RSMO 137-10503A, where the statute states, in the case of a taxpayer that meets all requirements of subdivision 2 of the subsection prior to the year in which a credit is authorized pursuant to subsection 2 of this section, the year in which such credit is authorized. At 9:37 a.m., Commissioner Larson attended the meeting. Commissioner Larson shared what he had learned last night. He shared that after talking to Scott Largent and Rick Watson, there were deadlines that have to be met at the state, and there's nothing the county can do about it. He shared that right now what he believes is going to happen is the county is going to have to freeze at the 2025 rate, but will be able to roll it back to 2024 for the initial applicants after this year. Darren Huey, Project Homeless, was in to update the commission on the current status of the project. Commissioner Larson asked Darren a couple questions regarding the project, as there have been concerns from citizens. Commissioner Larson shared his concern if government gets involved. Darren shared that the program is faith-based, but shared the reality that if they make it faith-based on paper, the grant options would be limited. He understands the concerns of the citizens. He continued to share how the program is going to work. At 10:01 a.m., commissioners held a bid opening for bridge pilings. 2 bids were received. T&W Steel Company Incorporated for that number is incorrect.
Yeah.
There's a number missing there.
Thank
Brock
you.
Sales and Service LLC, $31,581. Commissioner Larson made a motion to accept the bid of $31,581 from Brock Sales and Service LLC. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. Dennis shared that he and Mark Larson had attended what they thought was going to be the final walkthrough at Northwest 400 Road Bridge in White Oak Township. The receded grass was not acceptable height for MoDOT, so another walkthrough would have to be done. Dennis said that they have been working on culverts. He also shared that they have been hauling dirt off Davis Township Cart Rock Road. They have several pipes in the area to put in. Commissioner Larson asked if we had heard anything from Lucretia regarding the issue on Northwest 1101 Road. Dennis and Mark clarified their conversation from last week about it. Dennis said they were getting calls about Booth and 40th Road about semi-traffic. He shared that MoDOT has come up and inspected the road. They share that they do not see an issue with how it is laid out, but would recommend that the township drop the speed limit to 25 miles per hour on specific sections of the road. Commissioner Larson made a motion to appoint Jake Bradley to sit on the Casinger Regional Planning Commission Board. Commissioner Stone seconded. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Bradley abstained. Stone, yes. Commissioners reviewed and approved senior citizens tax freeze applications. Commissioners reviewed 2 quotes from companies to do roof work at the courthouse. The 2 quotes submitted were from Hirschberger Construction and Quality Roofing. Commissioner Larson spoke with prosecuting attorney Gray regarding Northwest 1101 road work. Commissioner Larson made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Stone seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. I apologize for the typos, guys.
What?
It's okay. Make a motion to accept the minutes with the corrections.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the minutes with corrections. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
That was the first one I brutally butchered.
Yeah, you did, but I think that decimal should be moved over there. Or comma.
Alright. Sign checks. It looks like there's more than there. There really is. There's one big one in there. So. I will have to look at that bid to see what that number was.
I think it was 33.
It's 33, you just, instead of you moved it over.
Okay.
Yeah, 33 is what it was.
Just want to make sure I have the right
Yes.
number in there. I had one, my comma too far over.
Okay, over here. Let's see where it is.
This is the payroll.
Mhm. Payroll stuff. Oh, did you get checked for that? For the senior citizen? Yeah. They just want me to,
Well, it's in your file.
it is. Okay. I just have to leave that on there, I check. Oh, I got one. I had to get out and go back in again.
That's weird. Sign up sheet out there just a second.
juvenile court.
Anyone wishes to speak to the commission, since you get cited. I forgot I ran out of sheets last week.
Down this,
What?
that one for the senior citizen.
Probably. Yeah,
Yep. No, I
Yeah, it
stamped it.
is.
I stamped it.
it's there.
Okay. Okay. All right, well, let's see. Start on that. Go ahead. Okay, I guess,
While we got silence here for a minute, Chris wanted me to tell you that he went to the extension office
Oh.
and handled the issues.
did it?
They had to order a garbage disposal and it hasn't come in yet. He
Okay.
just wanted to update you.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Kelly.
Do you have people that wanna speak? You might as well, your,
I
your
was
appointment's
just
not till
waiting.
10. Oh, I'm
Is that all
good,
right?
go ahead.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and start? Who do we have down there? Make sure everybody down needs to speak.
Yes, sir. The indigent burial.
Yes. Does that go right back into his budget, or do we gotta?
He's in GR, so it's the
Okay.
same way as Aaron's is.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
Good
Stacy?
morning, how are you guys
Good
today?
morning.
Good, how are you?
Yes.
Good. My name is Stacy Shanks. I'm here as a concerned parent, as part of the Davis Sartell School District. I have 3 boys that attend there. As you guys are aware, there's been some issues going on there for the last several months. They were relocated to Clinton due to the contamination. Adjusted very nicely there. The school board voted to return to the main campus in August, despite all the issues with the contamination. I have attended several school board meetings, objected to that. I've asked for them to pay our tuition to stay in Clinton. They were unwilling to consider that or do that. I met with legal counsel and sent a letter to them in response to this issue, and we are pending a response from them. It's my understanding that they lost 4 school board members in the last week. They won't be able to respond at this time. They don't have enough members to vote or conduct business. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but I am in limbo with my family and children on what to do for the new school year. They would like to stay in the Clinton district. We are scared to return to that campus. There's a lot of reports showing contamination. We don't have secure answers yet on that. There's other issues going on, violence at the school, death threats, a lot of issues in the school board administration. I feel that there is a lot of tension there. They're unwilling to all work together to provide a safe environment for my children. And I'm just not comfortable sending them back there at this time. And I'm trying to combat that. I'm not getting anywhere. And now with the school board and the loss of all the members, I don't know that I'm gonna get any answers before school starts. So I just wanted to bring that to your all's attention and let you know the issues we're facing as parents.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. Well, I've heard about the school board members, or lost 4, I guess, on that, which they can't. So I guess that's gonna be the next step, what we have to do after that. Sounds like we'll get into it, but I don't know, do we have anything on state statute if they lose school board?
If they lose
No,
a whole school board?
Lose, no, 4.
We have.
Yeah, that's
Then
the statute
we're-
that we're following.
We're supposed to appoint 4 people to the board,
Okay.
and that's the big part there that we'll have to deal with.
Do you know what kind of a timeline that is? Or, I mean, I'm still,
It's gonna be at the top of our list right now to get it done,
okay.
because that's some things we've been talking, but trying to get names that'll be on the school board. That's the next thing.
Is that something you all decide, or do you hear from the public and community on that?
Well,
I haven't heard anything
We-
back to
we-
find out for
what-
sure.
My
What?
understanding is that we appoint them
yeah,
personally, because I agree with it, you guys need to get
Input.
something done. You need to get this rolling, this can't be put on the back burner. So what I would like to suggest is anybody that, is wanting to take those positions, whoever it is, I would request that they come here before us, since we're the ones that are gonna be kind of held accountable, at least until April, when the election comes in.
Okay.
I'd like to know where everybody stands. I wanna know, when you're talking about putting somebody over the top of kids, I wanna know what their thought process is. I wanna know what they wanna do. I don't want this to be just I know you and I know you.
yeah,
That's what I'm looking
No,
for.
no,
That's something we've been struggling with.
That I can tell you, at least as far as I'm concerned, we're not gonna do. This is a horrible situation there are a lot of factors that have caused this. All of those
No.
factors need to be put aside. It's in the past. We need, you guys, and that's not my area, that's Jake's, but in my thought process, you guys need to start moving forward on a positive note. I mean, everything I've heard about that school has been unbelievable. I mean, you guys have done a great job down there. I get the infighting between people. You're gonna get that. I don't care if you guys are best friends. You're gonna get that. So it's not about you guys. It's about your kids.
It's about the children, and that's how I
Right.
feel
So,
too.
so that's where, at least that's where I'm gonna tell everybody, that's where I'm coming from. I wanna make sure that whatever decisions we make them with a little bit of research behind it, which means on your guys' end or whoever, you're gonna have to move out. You're gonna have to get people that you want, that, you know, I mean, whoever you think you know that you want, and whoever you think that you know, that you think would do a good job here, get them in here, and if we have to, we can schedule a time to sit down and talk with them individually, just like we were conducting an interview. I think that's gonna be your best
Sure.
bet. So that's just, like I said, that's just my input.
None of
I
us
just think that's the
feel
way it needs to
comfortable
be done.
about just appointing people, just
Right.
out of blue sky. Just like myself, if you don't know them, you shouldn't be putting them on a board that, and, you know, I don't know the whole situation. You better know both sides of it, where they stand and how all of it works.
That makes me feel a lot better, because I feel like that's something we've been dealing with, is a lot of inner politics, family relations, different things
yeah.
going on. And at the end of the day, I'm not a political person. I don't care about the politics everybody's feuding over. I feel like they've lost sight of putting the kids first
Yeah.
and the safety of our kids first, because they're all fighting each other over politics.
If you get too many family, you got a lot of problems, because then you have bouts between the family. So,
Correct.
anyway,
If
but
I
that's where we're at.
If I may ask,
Yeah.
Karen has taken a lot of applications already. Is that sufficient, or do you need them to do something other than that?
I think that-
I mean, as long as we've got those, I think that's, you know, this is
Yeah,
your
we-
guys' school, guys. We're,
Right.
Yeah,
I hate the even thought of us having to step in and do this. I'm in Calhoun. You're asking me to pick somebody for you guys who you
Yeah.
think is gonna be good. That's, you know, I don't, everybody you give us, I'm not gonna have a clue. You might know who they are. I'm not gonna have a clue who they are. I'm not gonna know nothing about them. That's why I'm saying I'd like them to come in here. I'm fairly good at reading people, so, you know, if they come in here and they're blowing smoke, I'm gonna catch it. But I would like to at least have the opportunity to talk to them, to maybe present some questions to them, see what their plans are for the school, what they wanna do. They're only gonna be there till April. So, and at that point, it comes back to the people. This is kind of an interim deal, is all it's gonna be.
yeah,
But
it's
still,
so they can operate.
yeah.
That's
yeah,
the big
you
thing.
guys
Right
can
now,
be
the
going.
school board needs to operate. And this needs to be not set aside, get it done.
Right.
Okay,
And-
I like the idea of you guys interviewing and making
And if
those
we could get,
decisions.
get the people and get the,
And I think because of all the division, we wanna make sure everybody has a say and gets to get in here and get their voice heard and get interview for whoever wants to be involved in that, so that it's not one person making these decisions.
Right.
Thank you.
but that's where we're at on it. Now, how we get that out is the next thing. Cause you gotta get it out to public if you wanna do that. And then to
Well,
make
the
that
public's had a
work.
chance to bring in applications, right?
I was
How
many
gonna say,
applications?
How many
Yeah.
applications?
Yeah, I did see that's 2 weeks, but I filled one out, and the paperwork that I was given afterwards said, when there's a vacancy, there's supposed to be 2 weeks for the public to, I guess.
Put in an
decide if you
application?
wanna put in an application.
Okay,
It hasn't been 2 weeks.
So anybody wanting to
Two
fill
of
out an
them were just
application
so-
gets it to you.
okay.
The board, before when we had a quorum, decided to have them due on the 24th.
For 2
When-
positions.
For 2 positions, yes. And so when those 2 positions became 4 positions, we continued to take the applications. But after that, that's up to you guys. I have
Well, I would-
applications that are ready. You can ask for more. That's totally up to you guys.
So when'd you start taking
Yeah.
Okay. I just looking at the calendar.
Mhm.
Oh, you would need, if you did the other, if you do full week, 2 weeks, you'd need another week. Be Next
But I
week.
also,
When school
I also
starts.
realize we're short on time.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
When-
This
when
is
does
up against
school
the wall.
Second, when school starts? 20.
August,
If we could
did you
get,
say August 20th?
start? So you're about-
But no business can be conducted
So
until.
you
Right.
guys can't do anything until you
That's-
get that.
Let's say we hear from Karen,
pardon?
Miss Medford.
I would
Go
think,
ahead.
yeah, what
We
you
gonna
got,
talk- Said, let's, what we got,
I just brought the applications, and if you had any questions in regards to our expenditures or our map test results compared to other districts. I have 7 applications. My recommendation, and I can't speak for the board because when we don't have a quorum to have the board speak, but my recommendation
I would
to
not
continue-
give recommendations on who. Are you
I
gonna
did.
give a recommendation on
No, I'm not.
who? Okay, sorry.
My recommendation, in order for the school to maintain its good standing with DESI, which is in compliance,
Mhm.
is that you appoint people who have already been trained in school board. Because there's 8.5 hours of school board training that they will have to
Take.
Right.
conduct.
right,
go to.
We do have 3 applicants with school board training already. The only training that they would have to do would be a 2.5 hour sexual abuse, thank you, sexual abuse training. So I do have 3 of those applicants. That's the only thing that would be time constraints. So I know that there have been questions about per pupil costs for our school. Per pupil, according to DESI, is $14,731 per pupil. The only school, well, sorry, there are 2 schools lower than that, and that is Clinton at $11,870 and Lakeland at $13,964 per pupil. Other surrounding districts are spending $22,000, $16,000, and another $11,000, I'm sorry, there were 3. So our 3 larger districts that touch us, I'm not saying all the districts in Henry County. We're in the bottom half of that.
What are we at?
We are at 14,731.
how many kids do you guys have going there present? I mean, I know at one time you had 45, 46, something like that, I think.
It would be hard to say, but 24 is where I'm at
24.
without having anyone with intuition to a different school coming back.
So you're planning for 20, how many did you say, 22?
24,
24, sorry.
24?
24 kids in the fall.
that's the plan.
Mhm.
I have math test results as well, which we are higher than every school that touches us. I even went as far as to another K-8. They were very close to us. We just flip-flopped like English and math. And last year was a low year. We were much higher by 10 to 20% of our students being proficient advanced than surrounding schools.
I'd say if
I
we can
guess-
get a list, or if we can get Kelly to make copies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
get those, that way we can all.
Yeah, look at them, see what,
you got,
um,
and
Okay.
then we probably ought to have them come in.
yeah, we need,
I would recommend you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a must.
cause it's a small district, I guess big thing, just like family members, to get family members on boards, that could be good or bad. The bad thing is, you're just gonna be a one side. That's problems, but in a small community, it's hard to pick. You gotta get enough people, that's the problem there.
How many did you say you
Yeah.
had?
7.
7? And you only need 4? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean by family members?
Sorry,
Pardon?
Dana.
What do you mean by family members?
Well,
Like,
like-
just like 2 board
Close.
members being family members?
Yes.
Or like
When
family
you,
of?
yeah, when you get into one board and all of them's kin,
Okay.
it's,
It gets real
Not
close.
family of
it gets
kids
real
at school or
close.
something.
Gets
Yeah.
close
Okay.
to
That's right.
nepotism at that point.
So in school, you know, if all your teachers are the same, it's a little tougher, so. But, anyway, I think first off, we need to,
Did any of your
Green
applicants
Star.
run for the position this last
1.
one?
one run for the position. Okay.
And on that training, that may be a plus, but it's also not going to hinder anyone that hasn't been through the training from doing business. They have a while to go through the training, so I don't know that I would necessarily let that hinder your.
Well, you have to have so many hours. If it's 8.5, it's.
But they're
usually-
also conducting business in
Yeah.
a different, need to know right at this moment type situation as well.
Well, let's look at the names.
Yep,
You good with that?
what?
Looking at the names?
Yeah, that was good.
Actually, you make.
Wanna make copies of them?
Yeah, that'd make it easier.
And you're saying it's closed, or you're gonna allow more applications?
Pardon?
Is it closed, or are we allowing time for more applications?
Oh, it was,
I was curious on the deadline on that.
I'm just gonna clarify. She said she had read something in the paperwork that said 2 weeks. If there's something in writing from a certain date
Yeah.
that says 2 weeks, I don't think you should, I mean, I
We
think you
kinda
should
have to
follow
follow
through
that.
with
I
the
don't
rule
have
that
it
you
with me,
made.
Sorry, but I can,
Is it on, is it,
It's
does it
on-
look like this? Is it one of these?
what?
that was
There.
what I got after I filled out my application.
Oh,
So is it on your application?
I don't
Is
think
it?
so.
Okay.
There was a packet I got with like an ethics book and.
So from like the school board,
From the-
School
state
board.
school board?
Okay. Decca?
Okay.
Do you see?
Well, then, I say we give it to the full 2 weeks.
The 18th?
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
That'll be next Wednesday. Great. Yes.
July
I'm just saying, if you put it in writing that it was 2 weeks, then
Yeah.
I think you
July
need to follow
2nd.
through with that.
Yeah, you need to know what it is.
You're basically then looking at, so we give it till next Wednesday, is that what it is? You
But
said?
yeah, next Wednesday will be 2
Okay,
weeks from the 18th.
So then we're gonna have people come in. I don't know what our
When's your
agenda
next
is on
meeting?
Thursday,
July 15th.
but
I'm actually up in Minnesota next week.
you're gonna be gone, okay. Cause, I mean,
You could start interviewing the people you're.
right, we need to get moving on it, because otherwise what we're trying to avoid is gonna happen anyway.
She just said their next meeting was July 15th, their next school board meeting. So, FYI, if that plays into anything.
Well, the big one is.
I don't think that's gonna be a problem then, personally.
Okay.
Yeah? You guys good with that?
What day?
Next Wednesday?
To,
It'll be the July the 2nd.
yep.
You might let everybody know that you,
Yeah, I was
Gave us
waiting
the-
to
they're
get
gonna
that
be coming
information
in.
because there was gonna be a June 30th meeting. But with this changing, I wanted to let them know what is actually going to happen.
And now the meeting's been moved to July 15th, right?
Sorry, there was gonna be a meeting for interviews by the board previously on June 30th.
Gotcha.
But since we had to review, I didn't want to say this is canceled. I gave them your application, but I want to say this is canceled, gave them your applications.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Second,
Missouri statute 190.052 says, "The county commission, upon notice from the board of failure to agree and filling the vacancy, shall within 10 days filled in by appointment of qualified persons as provided in section 190.050.
So we can move it up one.
What was it, hon? What is it?
190.052.
Be 10 days.
And my
Yeah.
paperwork,
10 days from
my
now.
That's
paperwork
what
may
I'm-
not have been for vacancies.
no,
It may have
yeah.
been when the board just appoints, not you guys.
No worries.
So
Yeah.
any document that
We're
was
all
given to me.
Trying to,
We're just trying to get, figured out what to do on our time. That'd be 10 working days.
And shall notify the persons in writing.
10 days is the July the 10th
Yeah,
from today.
yeah. That'd be when we'd have to have it done.
Names nominated.
Yep, names nominated for it.
So applications would have to be in by when?
Pardon?
Applications would have to be in by when?
Then, well, when are we gonna do this then?
We're gonna have to do, we're
We
gonna
gotta
have
have
to
it
have our
nominated by
decision made
That-
by July the 10th.
Yeah.
I think applications need to be in by the end of next week.
I think that, and I'm not disagreeing, that statute is there, but it's not a school board statute. It's a, emergency services statute, so just,
Do we need to get a hold of the Missouri School Board Association
Yeah.
to find out for sure, Kelly?
Sure. Becca, call down there.
So I had some calls in,
how
but
much
no one
research
called
over
back.
there?
Yeah.
Pardon?
That's completely up to you. I mean,
Okay.
that's your guys' call.
Becca, if I had,
But when we're
Oh.
filling seats, we gotta follow school board,
yeah,
statutes, which are the 162. Is the
162.
statute section for 7 district school boards.
I didn't keep that up. Look, let's see, I really got Becca down there, get the names down there, for the city talk to. That's where we
7,
need to
correct? Okay, I wanna make sure I didn't get something stapled together that should. You can actually give these back to her for her records. I need
Okay.
copies.
There we go, Hannah. Go. Let's see. Okay, let's see.
Not a juice, Jim.
Hmm?
I need staples. Any staples in your drawer?
Yep, I did. Found it the other day, down here.
I can just use paper clips.
Huh?
I said I'm just gonna use paper clips for right now to keep the
Okay.
process going.
There we go. Here. I got bigger staple gun.
Keep saying I'm gonna bring one from downstairs, I just never remember to do it.
That's, I got next to it home, or this store. You can bring it. There you go.
Thank you.
Now it's centered, ready? There we go.
I'll leave these like this for now and then we can staple them later. I'm just trying to get this done. Yeah. I tried to eat it.
Haven't found it yet. Haven't found it yet.
Pass that one down to Mark.
Mhm.
Yep.
Good.
Jim.
Jim? Okay.
also to fall in compliance with the state statute, you guys need to receive written notice from the Davis School District that you are to make these appointments. So before they make the appointments, we're gonna need something official from you, stating that they need to make the appointments, how many appointments they need to be made and when they need to be made. And that falls under the statute. It just says, upon receiving written notice of the vacancies, shall fill the vacancies. So it's just a paper trail. Or I guess a written notice from the remaining board members and the superintendent. I mean, the board can't really do anything at the moment, so I guess it would have to come from the superintendent.
Huh?
Never done that.
No.
I was hoping you could.
Huh? Could you make us a one?
I couldn't make out this
Is that
name.
it? Let's see.
Which one is? You're fine. You're fine.
I was hoping you could answer.
So they scribbled
Yeah,
through it,
I
and I
mean-
thought, oh no.
Is this the one you have?
Yeah, that's one I'm
That's it.
asking
Let
about.
me see, Jim.
Well, mine was bad.
What names do you have? And I can.
Oh, I got that.
I got Julie's,
What?
Barry's, Debbie's, Jeff's.
Okay, so this must be, Lesby. I
Is that
can't
another
remember,
Lusby?
I can't remember his first name. It starts with, let's see,
Is it David Lusby?
It's
D.
David
All right, thanks.
I'm gonna write that on the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Huh. I wouldn't have gone there with that one.
Well, that was a lot better, wasn't it?
Okay. Thank you.
Susan
Okay.
Goldhammer at
I
MSBA
think-
said if you wanted to talk to her, any
Mhm.
questions you might have according to school policies and statutes.
Susan what?
Goldhammer,
Goldhammer.
Goldhammer.
Thank you.
She's an attorney.
She's right.
Okay. Do you have a number for her?
Do. Who's that one?
She's the attorney for
Oh,
MSBA.
MSBA.
Dick.
Her number is 573-208-7845.
What was those last four?
7845.
784. Thank you.
Well, here.
May I ask if those interviews will be open to the public? They were.
I don't know. We do interviews and it's not, so
No.
I don't know.
That's the way
Ours,
that.
when we were gonna do it, it was going, it had to be an open session.
Okay.
Actually,
Let us find
we
out.
probably could do it because it's,
It's
this is the school
theirs.
board, this isn't us.
Yeah, it's
So
not
we-
us.
We should be able to do it in open session.
That might be something to ask Susan.
School board members
I guess-
don't normally get interviewed before they get voted for, right? Or
No.
do they? I don't know. I've never
No,
went for a
I-
school board.
When they're running for an election, there is no.
I've never heard of one on.
Okay.
That might be a good question.
You do a lot of politicking if you want to run. If that's what.
Yeah, I-
Yeah,
And
you get interviewed while you're running for it.
Yeah,
some
but-
of them, they don't, some of them want to be on it, some of them don't.
So what do we,
Well,
When did we decide we were gonna get? So are we taking more? We're gonna give till the 24th.
Well, the 24th is the day, the way I
Yeah.
understood it, we have got to make our decision, isn't that right, Kelly?
Yes.
That's
I'm
the
not
10
giving-
days?
I'm not giving.
Okay,
Well,
Kelly's
the 10
withdrawing.
days,
So
looked
then
at
when are
this.
we gonna start our interviews?
Uh,
Or- I mean, if somebody else is gonna apply,
Well, we need to put a
We can throw
cutoff
it
time
in.
for the applications and then
Yeah,
right,
say,
so if we've only got 10 days,
we haven't got that many days to
Well,
look at.
that 10-day statute was not applicable to school
it's
boards,
not.
that
Okay.
was emergency services. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that there's not one out there that doesn't have a
They are.
time, date. I mean, that would be a great question for the person that she,
let me ask you guys, because all of you sitting here are part of that school district. Obviously, you all have a vested interest. How quick could you get it out?
We feel the
To
sooner
people.
the better. We feel like a lot of people have an idea what's going on. A lot of people have already applied.
But then this
So-
year, you could talk to her.
Huh?
Well, I can leave, but
Oh.
yeah, I can come back tomorrow or something.
Well, I'm just
Tuesday.
wondering,
I'm one of the applicants, but I do have some.
Okay.
because it's gonna
You're
be,
fine.
I don't know how we're gonna put it
All right.
out there.
well, it's
That's
not
what
really.
Let's get-
It's not our department.
Let's get
Yeah, that's
everybody.
what
So
I'm
it's
saying. You
been
guys,
posted
It's
What's-
already
on
been
ma'am?
our
posted.
website.
Ma'am?
I say,
App.
then I just give
What's your
them a
name?
couple more.
Tia West.
Give them
Tia
She's a
West?
member of the board
Tuesday.
currently.
Yes, I'm on it.
All right,
I was gonna say
okay.
give them
And
until next
so
Wednesday,
is
Wednesday to
that-
get the
that was-
applicants,
yes.
And then that-
applications in, and
And
then
Cassie
the
can
following
go
week we
figure
make
it
our
out.
decision.
Yep.
Today's-
We set
But
up.
we
an-
should
yeah.
Cassie
actually
Cook is the name of the third one that's still
start
Cassie is the
interviewing
person.
these guys.
Cassie Cook is the
That
name
way,
of the third one that's
We're
still
not the
there.
whole day.
So
Okay.
you
Yeah,
have
I don't want to
Tia
be a holdup
West,
by any
Yeah.
means.
Beth
So,
Wilson, and
we've got
Cassie
these
Cook, who are
people,
current
we can
board
have them
members.
come in.
Yes.
And
you also the
That,
current-
Cassie is the
any more
president.
come in,
Okay.
we'll just
Thank you.
throw them in line right behind it.
You guys had originally said
Yep.
July 2nd. Was that to go ahead and do interviews
Well, that was
Well,
before?
before.
I-
Mark and I
It's
was
gonna
just
be-
talking
I'd try to get it
about-
done as quick as we can.
I think we should
Yeah.
do it.
make
because
July
fine
the
with that,
second
too.
the deadline to
And
get
then
the
they need to
applications
do it
in,
separately.
and then the following week.
I have nothing on the, calendar for the following week, so if that's what you guys feel comfortable doing,
Can,
I'm good with whatever.
this may be a crazy question, but I know we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
You can meet
Can-
whenever you
we
want.
can have a
Can we have an
special-
extra meeting?
we
Because
can have a
honestly, that
special
way,
and do it.
if we actually make it, say like on a Wednesday, that we do all of this, then we're not interrupting anything that you set up for us Tuesdays or Thursdays.
Agreed.
I
So
100%
I think that's gonna
agree.
be
I
the
think
easiest
it'd
thing
be
We can
easier
just
for
do
us.
that.
So
Yeah.
one
Just
thing
focus on that.
Came up when the board set a date for when they were gonna interview is people were like, I want to apply, but I'm on vacation. Would you
Mhm.
guys be willing to entertain the idea of a virtual interview if that were the case?
I think in this short of a time frame that that's just something you guys are gonna have to accept.
I'm with
We'll-
Kelly
we'll
on
have to
that.
on
Yeah.
the phone.
There's a holiday
Right.
in there too.
Right.
It's next week. so
Right.
the
Oh,
11th,
I've counted the
Right.
4th as a day, so
the 4th is-
It's still
I forgot it's
President's
a
Day.
holiday.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think as quick as you guys are wanting to do it, you're just gonna have to accept phone interviews. People have jobs. I mean, they're not just sitting around waiting.
Yeah,
for
whatever's
school.
easiest for them to come
Yeah.
through. I mean,
Otherwise,
You
you're
agree?
gonna just
Yep.
retire.
Yep, I'm
So what
good
was
with
the
it.
final verdict
Got-
on the dates?
sorry, I didn't.
What was the final verdict on the dates? Applications by when and interviews when?
What do you think, Jen? You good with
I-
the second?
The second's
Or
what
you-
I'd say on that,
Okay.
and then we can go the next week.
Well, then we
We need
can.
to try to,
And then they'll have the appointments made. You guys need to make
The
the
ninth.
appointments the same week that you interview because they've got a
Yeah,
school
board
board meeting
meeting.
on the 15th, so they need to
Yeah,
resume.
that'd be fine.
we could do it
some
tonight.
business.
If we do it on the second,
The
that
apps.
gives
Wait,
everybody
what's the second
the
deadline for the
deadline,
application?
the
Uh-huh.
deadline. Why can't we
Yeah.
go ahead and start these
On the second?
before?
Alright,
I mean,
yeah.
like, start,
Oh, yeah.
like
that's a good
next
point.
week.
You've already
Yeah.
got those
because
right.
then we get these out of the way.
Yeah,
Uh,
We may get this many more, and like,
may not
I
get
don't wanna
any.
hold you
You
guys
may not
up.
get any, you
Yeah,
may get one
yeah.
or two, and then you could already be done.
Right, and then if somebody comes in that impresses
Okay.
us over somebody else.
Well, like
then-
Mark said, we're not holding up.
Yeah,
Another question
One
is,
day.
I said the 2 weeks thing because it was on that paper.
Sure.
And like I said, that was
Yeah.
probably just if there's one vacancy
Right.
kind of thing. So I'm kind of thinking in my head about, that was on a Tuesday night, so they opened it up Wednesday, and then they gave it till Tuesday, so that was about a week,
Uh-huh.
6 days. So is that where we should look at, like, since that's what the board agreed at that time, so these other two that were open on Monday, would you just say Monday should be the date
For,
for applications to be in? I'm just going off what the board,
It's already been presented to the
yeah,
public.
it's like the board had already
Sending
agreed,
applications.
when there was only two, that was a Tuesday night, and they opened it up Wednesday.
so you're wanting to,
You're-
Well, I was just saying, like, if we
Well,
wanna
no.
stick with the
you're curious
board,
about the Monday before, to stick on the same schedule
what
with
the board
that.
Stick
approved
on.
of, and there was two spots. Is that what we should stick with?
Our meeting was the 17th, and they started picking up applications at that meeting.
Okay, so Tuesday then, Tuesday to Tuesday,
So 17th was our last.
so Monday to
meeting.
Monday.
What fits the people the best?
Huh?
What would fit the people the best?
Oh, I don't know.
If you're looking at what, a
Wednesdays.
2-day difference, a 1-day difference?
No, I'm just saying, just,
Yeah.
No, I'm asking the
Yeah.
difference between you, if you started
So it's
taking them
not
that
that big
night,
a
on the
difference.
17th, then it would be the 24th and take apps to the 1st.
Mhm.
And then you guys can work on it the next week, and that would hit the 2-week date.
Okay, that's fine.
So
So
the
the first? Okay.
We're gonna take applications till the first.
First.
Is that what you're saying? I think,
And then if you are doing Wednesday interviews, you could almost
that's gonna be,
immediately start.
get those on that Wednesday too.
mhm.
I agree.
so you're gonna interview on this 2nd.
That way you can do interviews on the 2nd of the people that you already have, and, I mean, because we're already into what,
Possibly do them all that day.
yeah, that's only like 4 days away.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
So,
Might
I
build
mean,
a-
that
On
seems like a
these, we
fair
can-
timeline.
Cause we can handle them, the ones already got one in, get them out of the
Get
way.
them out of the way.
And then look at all the new ones coming in.
So interviews beginning on the 2nd,
Second.
apps due on the 1st.
That sound doable to us, Kelly?
As far as I know, I don't have my calendar down, from downstairs.
Gotcha.
Hey,
I just, it's not something you guys can sit on, they've gotta do business.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
My question would be, turning applications into
Not me,
Ms.
she's
Bedford
still
then.
taking them, I mean, this is on them, they're just
yeah, that
asking
needs
you
to
for
go.
dates, so.
Well, I figured that'd be
I
a
mean,
question
where the
people would
7 that you
ask.
have, were they submitted to you? So just do that.
You start changing the
Yeah.
rules in the middle of the game. and
You don't wanna do that. And then, okay, we didn't plan anything the 9th, did we?
No,
Okay, cause I was gonna say.
Jake, I understand that you're gonna be gone.
The 3rd.
Next week.
Huh? Next
You'll be
week.
gone.
Yeah.
But if you were able,
You can call me, I
can
can
we do
call
a
in.
phone call with you as well?
You
Just
bet.
if we wait till
Wait.
everybody's available, we'll never get it done. And
I'm
like you
sitting in
said,
the
we've
waiting
got
room.
to-
I can make it happen.
Okay, all right. Take your earbuds.
I'll be
Yeah.
on them.
Take your, you can get on your iPad.
I just wanted to make sure everybody knew you was not gonna be present and
Mhm.
Oh,
that you
understood.
might
Yeah, wanna ask a
call
question.
in, so. All right.
Okay. So we go through these, then see what else we got.
Will you have time to make your
Yeah, I
decision
will.
on the 2nd?
Depends on how quick the
Huh?
interviews go.
Depends on the people that applied for it
Yeah.
beforehand is
How
able to go.
How many? That's all we can do.
Is the second on a Tuesday?
Except Steve Owens.
It's a
Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Mhm.
so then you would meet on Thursday, I would think
Yeah,
by the
if not-
third, you'd
if
be able
not,
to have a
then-
decision.
The next day.
I guess the only
It's
thing
sooner
is,
better.
on the interviews, the big thing is whether, say they're working or something like that.
Well, that's what we
that
started,
could
but they
be-
could call in, maybe
Yeah,
we could
we're
set
gonna
up a
have
time.
to figure something that we can make work for them. If they do,
We could,
Yeah,
I mean,
younger
if it's on a
people that are
Wednesday,
working.
I don't know about you guys, but we could do it in the evenings. I mean, we could come up here Wednesday evening.
I'm good with whatever, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, that
I
way we.
don't,
I say we'll wait and
accommodate
see
anybody working.
how it
let's
works
wait and
for
see how that works, cause then we're gonna have to get we'll have to get, well, they have
Of course,
You
I'm
gotta
talking
talk
about
to
this, I'm
somebody.
not gonna be
You
here.
gotta have the door there.
You guys see,
Somebody
though,
watch the door.
Right.
do they, I mean, do
Can't
they
just
work
open up
during the
court.
day, or
I'd
some
say
stay-at-home
you do
moms,
every
or?
day.
Yeah.
One
Some
works
phone
Kansas.
interviews.
One works in
I think
Kansas.
phone would be the better, phone or Zoom, whatever.
Might be a good
So you
candidate
could
for a
do like-
call.
Afternoon into evening or something, you could do a lot of them probably during the day, but then
Catch a
if they
few.
work-
If we gotta do any special
Well,
ones in the evening, we can
Yeah.
set an
Yeah.
appointment kind of thing, if
Yeah.
we need to.
Cause the main thing is just like us, then we have to worry about security at courthouse. Cause we'll have to make sure that somebody's locked up. That's it.
Do it in the parking lot.
Do it in the parking lot, I guess.
Uh,
Hope for, well, that could be a hot day.
mm,
Do it at the bandstand.
There you go.
Okay,
It'll work. We'll make it work.
will that work with you guys?
Thank you.
Everybody?
And I'd like, if you wouldn't mind, double check to make sure that was the name, or otherwise we.
It was.
Okay, thank you. I can see we have somebody else's name
Offering
written down
somebody
there
a
like.
job they don't want.
Say, what do you call them?
And Jake, you had asked Joy Lawson is the one that was on the ballot for last time.
She was on last
I knew, I
time,
asked Kelly yesterday, I just curious if they was put in.
but she was on the ballot last time.
We're gonna need phone numbers. if-
Yeah, we are.
If they're not able to come
Would y'all happen to have any of the phone numbers?
I can get you that.
Can you
in.
get,
Thank you. And this would just be a term into April, correct?
Yes.
yep,
All four positions?
they don't have to be voted on.
So when they go on in
Yeah.
April, they'll go with the term. So
Oh.
that is another thing that, I'm glad you asked that question, will need to be
What?
decided. Yes, we could appoint these 4 people, but we need to decide which terms they're going to fill because not all 4 of
Yeah.
them are gonna be up at the same time. So it might be somebody who just got elected to the board, so that term's gonna be a full 3 year. It might be somebody who was on for a,
The school's policy is finishing out the term and they have to reapply in December.
They don't finish the person's term,
They just finish.
they just finish the term until April, and then all 4 seats will go to election.
That's school's policy.
Okay,
So then every 3 years we'll have 4.
so they'll finish out the term.
Unfortunately.
and that's in your school
The
policy? Because
MSBA policy.
cause that's gonna throw your, terms off.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a lot of people up for election at the same time.
Yeah.
But isn't that gonna cause the conflict?
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think
Like I
maybe
said,
we
you-
should check into that just because I've never done this. And I don't want,
It's under the
to
policy.
mess up your terms if it's supposed to be one way or the other. So, because I know that's how it works by
cause
statute.
y'all vote for so many. on the election.
Eek. That'll
Because
mess you up forever.
2 of the board members that are currently on are also up in April. So. it
Okay.
It'd be a full
Those would be the,
See, that's why I'm saying it follows the term, or
Yeah.
it can't be a whole board
I
at the
agree.
same
She's gonna
time.
send you the statute, the MSBA policy.
yeah, that's all the,
Right, you could also talk to Susan Wolf.
I will. I'm just I'm gonna find out for myself because I'm that kind of person.
But who do
so.
you decide this person goes into this person's seat, this person goes
Yeah.
into this
Right,
person's seat.
so,
I don't know how you
Right.
decide that.
so
Well-
when that happens and they're actually filing for a position, they would have to, file for that specific position. So,
What if they all file for the same position?
Well, then
They
you're
all
only
work
gonna
3
elect one.
years, probably.
right, you
That's
can
good.
only,
You can only
you can
elect
only
one
appoint one
for that.
Then you
for that
need one
position.
more.
Yeah. that makes-
Then
Now
mean,
we're
that's
down to
the
one
same-
person.
That's the same way it would work.
Yeah.
Even an election process is.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, we have the same process on, just like different
Yeah,
places.
but we only hear so many.
The library board,
But you're
different
filing,
ones
you should
like that.
file for a seat, not a specific person's seat.
Well, it's not a person, it's a term.
Yeah.
It's a term
It's a
seat,
term
it's
that
not
you
a
got.
person.
That term goes with the person.
Yeah.
No,
So
it goes
am I
with the
filing for a
position, it doesn't go with
Well-
the person.
3-year term, I wanna just be on till April.
It goes with
It's-
the position, not the person.
Just like Kelly,
It's like
she
the same
stepped
thing.
in this year as county clerk. They appointed her, but her term will end in what, 1 year, or another year after this. That's when, because they end up same
get
time as
that.
mine.
Yeah,
Just like ours is not all the same time. I'm one, and then the other two are different times.
And the reason for that is so you don't have a brand new board and they're up every single time. I mean, that's why they're staggered with, and it's in statute like that. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you guys, I'm just saying that I'm gonna look for myself.
that makes sense to me.
Because-
I just don't know how you put one person into it.
So when you file, like,
How to-
when the applications were
Yeah.
taken, and it wasn't something nobody thought about, like, again, we haven't ever done this, right?
Yeah.
Is, okay, well, this one's a 2-year, will you serve the 2-year, this one's a 3-year, this one's a 1-year, which one do you want to apply for? Do you wanna apply for the 1-year, do you wanna apply for the 2-year, or do you wanna apply for the 3-year?
So according to MSBA policy, if there are more than 2 vacancies at any one time, the county commission, upon receiving written notice of vacancies from the board secretary, shall fill vacancies by appointment. If the district is located in the county without a county commission, the county executive, upon receiving written notice of vacancies, shall fill vacancies by appointment with the advice and consent of the county council. The persons appointed shall hold office until the next school board election, when directors shall be elected for the unexpired terms.
For the unexpired terms, that's
Yeah.
where it gets you, those terms are unexpired. They don't all expire at the
No.
same time. So if a term was to expire in April, one of those people's, then they would file for the expired term, the regular term. The unexpired is where it comes in at, and that's when you have to decide which one of those positions that you want to fill.
Could these applicants
Who's-
say that they would be open to any position and they don't have to specifically? 'Cause I think
Well-
The issue with that is,
Yeah, one.
how do you, what's fair? How do you
Yeah.
decide? So if somebody was gonna come in and file with me for health department, and there was an
Right.
unexpired term and a term, and they say, I don't care, I have to say, I'm
Which
sorry, I'm glad that you're willing, but you have to choose. Because that position has to be filled for the term. You can't just be like, well, I don't care, I want both. Well, that's just not how it works in the election world.
We're not looking at this for now, this is for come April.
No, ma'am,
No.
this would be now
would be
because you
now.
have to fill
Yeah.
the term.
Because we're appointing people that you're gonna serve 2 more years, or
We have
1
that
year,
will expire.
or till April.
I can
It's
look
over.
it up, I
One
have
with
that
2
information.
years and one with 3.
Thank you.
Because someone may be willing to say,
2 are expired.
I will
2
fill
are
that
expiring this
position,
April.
but I don't wanna be on there for 3 years, I'll
And
fill
when
it
does
till
the
the
other
next
2
April
expire?
election.
Two of the four,
Not that, I'm talking
2 of the
about
4,
of the 4,
of the 4.
one is expiring.
All right,
So
which
the person that was on the ballot, she was running for what? How long of a term?
3.
It's a
3 years.
3-year
3-year
term.
term.
So
So
they,
she had already agreed to fill a 3-year term, but she wasn't elected.
well, that was an
2, 2, 3.
expired term, so
Oh,
that
at the time.
started new.
Yeah,
Okay, I just started 3 years.
Yeah, your term just began for
Oh,
3
1, 2,
years.
3.
But if you had resigned, somebody would
Okay,
have
and
to
you did.
run.
then they'd have a
Right.
3-year term.
So there's a 3-year term.
Right.
But if it's expiring the next year, then.
They still have to run in April, they're not filling that term.
Right.
But it will specifically say for a 3-year term, for a 2-year term,
Yeah.
for a 1-year term
On the ballot.
on the ballot, yes
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
And maybe this isn't how it works, but in my mind, if somebody ran for that spot and didn't get it, and then the person that did resign, why wouldn't it go to the person that ran on the ballot?
Okay, tell me one more time.
if we had somebody that ran for that term and lost,
Right,
and the person that won then resigns, why wouldn't it go to the person on the
because they're no
ballot?
longer a candidate, that election's been certified, that election no longer exists.
done.
Good question.
They
I-
could appoint her.
They could appoint her.
Yeah,
I don't know who the applicants are necessarily, but are they, is this going to be conveyed to them that you are applying for a very specific position? And what if they do all apply for this multiple positions and then we still have a seat open? That's what I'm worried about, is what if multiple
Yeah.
applicants apply for the same spot and we still have vacancies? We have business we need to take care of, we have staff that needs to know what they're doing, we have families that are,
I mean,
Yeah,
I honestly think that you'd be able to convince them, look, there's still an open position here. If you really want on this board, take this one and then you'll go on the
Yeah.
ballot like everybody else. It doesn't matter if you're a 1-year term, 2-year term. I mean, I think if they
It's
really
just
have the
gonna be
best
conveyed
interest
to
of the
them.
if
school,
that's what they're worried about, school, they need to just.
that they're not gonna turn down, like,
I don't think any
a
of them would turn
position's
it
better
down.
than no position, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right.
So you have one that was up in 26, one that was up in 28, one that was up in 27, two that was up in 27, sorry, so. So you'll have 2-year, one
And then
3-year,
we'll have to
and one
appoint-
1 year.
Accordingly, in our case, it'd be just putting a person in the slot.
It is gonna be a mess.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's statutorily how you have to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And had we thought about that, again, I said, I've never done this. I could have conveyed that and I didn't, and I apologize.
I get it.
that's appointments, and that's where it gets in, because somebody, well, I thought I was going for 1 year. No, you're going for 3 years, or 2 years.
But wouldn't,
Well, they're
didn't you
all
just
up,
say
yeah, she said
that
it
they're
on
all
the
up in
ballot.
December and then they would run for
So
whatever?
I think
we're-
But they actually have to run
Yeah,
for
for
the
that
position
So
regardless.
if they don't wanna run, they don't have to
No,
run.
no.
So
it doesn't
technically they all
Ah.
are 1-year
So at
appointments,
this
but
stage,
you have
it
to
doesn't
re-up.
It's a real
Yeah,
board.
it's not until you file in December or whenever for the April election, that's when you'd have to decide. Everyone that would
Say
be,
again.
everyone that would
Yeah,
be
but we
appointed
have-
now
This is election services,
is
that's
all
already
just till
lost
April,
me.
no matter what. Then they have to run, and that's when you would choose.
Yes, for certain
One,
terms.
so
Yeah.
they're still now,
For
not
at
in
this stage,
They're all till
Yeah.
December,
Yeah.
whatever the filing
Debating
date
Johnny
is.
Walker tonight.
or
Yeah.
they serve until election
Yes.
is mine. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Regardless, they all
Welcome.
serve until April.
Yes.
But when you,
But you could refile if you
when
want to
they're
stay on.
appointed, they're not gonna be appointed to a term, but they,
Yes.
when they go to be on, they're gonna have to be
Hang on
a
to this.
specific
Yes,
term.
okay.
They can't all
When
just
they
be.
file to be
Yes.
reelected.
Yes,
Or actually be elected, because they
Yes.
haven't been elected yet.
right.
That's when they would decide, I want the three, the
Yes.
two, or the one.
So when you're taking filings, you're gonna have to be
Specify.
specific. Yes, ma'am.
But when
I just
we
wanted to
poured
put
them
that
right
out there
now,
That they didn't all think that they were.
Yes. All up.
they're just like us, when we appoint them right now, it's gonna be for,
Till the April
April.
election.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
But when you're filing for it,
Then
it
you'll have
is
to
going
go
to
for-
matter.
1 year, 2 year, or whatever,
At election time.
at election.
Clear as mud? That's shaking it. No, not clear as mud.
It makes sense.
Kelly, it looks like you're gonna say something else.
Well, when you advertise your election, you're gonna advertise each term, not
Yes.
just that we're taking filings. And then that way,
Yeah.
at least maybe they'll know when they go in that they're gonna have to choose one.
I mean,
That's how I landed on the Calhoun School Board. I'll do it for 1 year.
Okay, so we got that
Okay.
set.
I guess that's what we're
First.
doing.
And if you have any questions, I'll try
Yeah.
to help. Try to help best I can.
All right,
All right, thank you.
thanks y'all. Thank you. Okay, let's see.
You have
Uh,
36 minutes till we adjourn, so, because you have another meeting at 11.
Public officials.
Okay, well, have to move it on. All right, good. Anything else?
Were you gonna discuss
Yes,
fly
sir.
ash?
Pardon?
Old business, you have fly ash, were you gonna discuss that?
Yeah.
Say
It's on the agenda as old business. You just
Yeah.
wondered if
Oh.
there's any-
I haven't heard anything else from Mark yet.
You,
Okay.
have you got,
Not this Mark.
one of you three might know, did you guys get your results back?
They just did it
from-
last Wednesday, I
Okay,
got it.
that's what I thought. I've got it written down someplace when you're, I think it's the 15th maybe. Is when we're, at least I'm supposed to find out. But, so, yeah, no, I don't.
Can I ask a question about that? I asked this at the board meeting, at the last board meeting, but, the EPA did come and tell us, or not, the emergency management guy came and told us that the EPA would continue doing testing every 6 months or a year. Something to keep tabs on if it's actionable or not.
Right.
How can we, are we guaranteed that? I mean, they haven't guaranteed the school that they would do that. What if they do it one time, then they just were like, eh? Or what if Trump ups his levels and now it's not?
Let me, and I'll go ahead and put this out there. Sitting here, I'm gonna tell you, this is what they said. If I'm sitting where you are, I'm gonna tell you, no, I'm not buying it. Actionable levels, he said, and I'm glad he did, was 70. I don't know what you guys, I mean, Amy, did you get any of your,
I'm Beth.
you tested?
I'm Beth.
I did the right name.
I knew that.
Yes.
Did you guys get any of yours tested? I mean, and you may not be able to tell. That's the other issue. You've got some high numbers out there. Let me leave it at that.
I just don't want anything to change on,
See, and
and
that's,
they can't, they probably aren't gonna guarantee the school that, yes, we'll
no,
sign
we're
this and
not.
say.
No, I'm gonna tell you that for sure. they're
Yeah,
not
that's
going
what I
to.
thought too.
But even, that's like me telling you, you know that next room over here? It's a little radioactive, but it won't kill you until you go in there 5 or 6 times. You know, I mean, seriously. I get whatever, you got DNR who lies through their teeth. I mean, I've dealt with them now 5 or 6 times, and every time they said something to me, it turned out it wasn't right. They don't have a real good track record along with the EPA, and they're all great guys. But their job is to make you feel safe. And unfortunately, and I've told people this because they've asked me, personally, I wanted all these people to come in here and state what they're gonna say, because we've got it on record. When this goes to court, and it doesn't go the way EPA and DNR thinks, honestly, that's where you guys are gonna make your money, right there. Because they're,
Okay.
the level of,
Anyway, we're, whether cussing us, cussing.
evidence that's out there is like over the top. These people sitting here have no idea the evidence that's out there. I mean, I've had people come to me and show me stuff that I even asked my wife to come in, so that I want somebody else to see this besides me, because they came to my office. You would not believe it, literally, you would not believe it. So, if somebody asked me sitting here, I'm gonna tell you, I've pretty much done everything I can do. I've got the evidence out there. These people have responded. They're the so-called experts in it. But if you, like I said, if you look at their past history, I mean, they're gonna cover anything up that they can. And even Chuck, I like Chuck, the guy from Evergy, he's a super good guy. But his job is to make it look like everything's good. That's what his job is. And he's very good at it. So,
So not really.
no.
So Mark, Do you think we made a poor decision moving back to that building?
I do. Personally, I do. I really do.
Mr.
I-
Stone?
but
do
I'm-
you have
I'm
an
just-
opinion? Mr. Stone? Do you have an opinion as to whether we made a poor choice moving the school back to the building?
I really can't say, I don't have, I don't know. I've got mixed emotions about the whole thing, really, in my opinion.
Because we
I-
based our decision.
It's
on
just
the
like
result.
just like everything else, just like me, I'd heard a lot of it, well, old tires. Well, they just put down tires on the parking lot, but whether that's true or false, I don't know. I'm not a chemist, and they can tell me anything, and that's it. All I can say is, you know, if the kids was ever sick or anything like that, hopefully something would be come up there. I don't know, and that'd be my point, and whether or no. All I can say is a lot of people's lived out there their whole life too. So I really don't know the answer to your question. I'm not in that position. If I would, that'd be something my wife and I'd have to talk about, whether we agreed or whether we didn't. I mean, that's part of it.
Mr.
your
Bradley, I'd like
kids.
to ask you the same question. Do you
Yeah.
think it was a poor decision for us to move the school back to the building based on the evidence that you have heard from all of the resources? Because we based our decision on what we were told by Henry County Management.
I think it was a poor decision.
Based on all the evidence that you've heard from all the resources. Do you have an opinion?
Not really. I would. That's a tough one for.
No, I said based on the evidence that they've been told by all the resources available to you.
That's a tough one for me as a parent to do. That's a lot to weigh in for my children to go into. I haven't made it to all your all's meetings. and-
No, I'm saying based on the evidence that's been presented to you as the commissioners. Because all we had to go on was what the Henry County Management.
Of course,
told us.
yeah. No, I probably wouldn't have sent my kids back to it.
It's always best to err on the side of caution. Especially, I mean, like I said, I got 16 grandkids. They're the most precious things in the world. Just like you guys have got your kids and stuff. I mean, they are. You know, for me, it's like, and I'm not gonna say I'm 100% right, but I'm not taking that kind of chance. I'm not. The only thing I've got left when I leave this good old earth is my kids and my grandkids. That's it. And there's nothing more precious. So, I'd put myself in positions, being in the business that I was in, that, we perfect example. When I was painting back in the early 70s, we'd paint tanks, come down, they had a 55-gallon drum full of lacquer thinner or MEK. All of us would take a bath in it, okay? 15 years later, we go take our safety classes and they tell you that lacquer thinner is the #1 carcinogenic product in the market. I mean, Jim and I have laughed because we've had a few pieces whacked off of us, skin stuck my hands. I mean, I'm pretty
Used
sure
to
I'm gonna
take
have
it and
one.
clean my nose
The
after
sun's a
staining.
big
Yeah,
thing there.
yeah.
I tell you
So-
what, all of us,
You know,
I worry about
now
my kids
that
going to
the-
school nowadays 10 times worse. I worry more about drugs at schools than other. You want to talk about what I worry about? That's what I worry about, the kids and health, and just like going to college. It's a complete different world than back when we went. Same as schools, everything's changed. You got peer pressure, and it really tears it up, and
To the main campus, but
you gotta worry about all
our
that.
other alternative is to hold school in a different schools district, in the basement of a building. And that doesn't really make sense for taxpayers either.
Right.
So we're really
You guys are
in a
caught.
hard spot.
You guys
We're
are
in a really
without
hard
a doubt.
position. I mean, you have to make it make sense to taxpayers, parents, staff, administration. We don't have a good choice.
No, I see, that's the thing. I see both sides of it. I mean,
Me too.
this is terrible to say out loud, but I'm glad this is your side and not my side, because, I mean, seriously, you guys have been hammered.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
all sorts of stuff that have happened to you people down there. That's terrible. I wouldn't wish that for anybody.
But the school shouldn't be a tragedy because of all that.
No, it shouldn't. Here's, I'll just tell you, the biggest thing in my mind that stuck with me was Evergy said they want to do whatever we can to help the community. Okay? Well, then, let's get it in court. Let's get those lawsuits in court, and let's find out everything, because if they win, then we're just stuck with it. Okay? I mean, we are. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you can probably refile or something like that, but nobody's going to. But if they lose, now you've got the money to clean that school up.
I see.
If you have to put those kids at that Baptist church, which, I mean, you gotta be really thankful they allowed you to use that church. But you can get that school cleaned up. So, I trust me, I get what you're saying, Beth, I do, 100%. It's just, man, for me, it would be a hard decision, but for me, my kids.
I voted no, but I got outvoted, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's, I honestly see both sides, I do. I mean, I really do. It's just you guys are caught in a bad place. That's the bottom line, and you're only gonna be able to work with what you can do and do the best you can do with it. So, not much help, but
Unfortunately, yeah. It is tough.
yeah,
Scary.
yeah, it'd be terrible.
It's not a church anymore, it's just a building.
I've heard that rumor.
Really?
It's not even a church.
They're not holding church anymore.
Well, that's too bad. I hate to see those go by the wayside too.
Hopefully we can find something,
Yeah.
get some information to kind of go by to help this go by a little bit easier.
Hopefully we can get this taken care of quick.
Yes.
Get you guys going again.
What was your name?
Dana Tribble?
Tribble?
I've heard
Thank
you
you.
guys got a great school.
Sorry, I didn't catch that earlier.
I'm from, not from here, I didn't even know there was a school down there, to tell you the
Yeah.
truth. But I mean, everything I have heard about that school has been like over the top amazing. So whatever y'all are doing is working.
All right.
You look just so thrilled to be here.
I'm here for the duration. I mean, there's only probably 20 minutes left before you guys go to adjourn, so
23, but
there you go.
Dennis, I reckon you're
Okay.
right.
We need to go ahead and move ahead. We gotta be done by 11. Ken, let's go ahead and, Dennis, ready for you.
First thing is,
Thank you, Beth.
I had to redo soft match on Northeast 100 Bridge and finally got it all done and everything. And it made a difference of the total cost that the state's gonna owe us, $95,384.66. It changed it about $140. So if you guys are in agreement, then I'm gonna have Jim sign that so I can get it off to him.
Which one's that for?
Northeast 100 is gonna be in Bethlehem Township. It's right on the line. It's
Okay.
out there by 681.
Okay. Y'all just look at it.
I'll sign it.
I fat fingered a couple keys on my equipment, that's
All
why
right.
it changed.
I think so.
Mark?
You good with
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Thanks, Dennis.
This is the, go ahead, it's separate from what you're doing.
One track my list, one thing at a time, Dennis.
There,
I'm trying to keep it straight.
okay.
Okay, I just handed you guys a copy of the Mansfield agreement for the southeast 450 bridge, where we can go in there if we have to get over on the landowner. She's granted us permission. It's a temporary easement. If you guys are compliant with it, I'm gonna have Jim and Kelly sign it, and then make sure you date it, please.
I already looked to see if it was.
That all right?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Still in there, down at the bottom.
Just go with it,
Not
Mark.
country.
Just go with it.
Got it.
That's the one down there by Tightwood, right?
Do what?
450. 450 is one down there by Tightwood, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Leesville
Yeah,
Township.
Leesville, thank you.
This one here is the bridge, or the same bridge, but it's the landowner on the other side of it. It belongs to Denise and Day Terry. And they've signed the
Easement.
easement and has granted us temporary access because we will need to get on them to do some ditch work.
Top of that tree's still there.
Do it.
Top of that tree's still there.
It won't be when we get down there and get working on
Yeah, I
it.
figured.
You need to date that one
I
too,
figured with all
Kelly.
the rain we had, it'd been gone.
Wish there was.
Yeah.
So that takes care of the important papers that I needed signed. We've been busy putting in some culverts for different people. Got more culverts to still go in. Next week, I'm gonna start on this bridge since I got the easement signed. I was waiting. I was gonna do it Tuesday and start Tuesday, but got tied up moving dirt for Davis Township. We should finish it up anytime now. And they're out there putting the culverts in that we needed to put in and everything. So if he don't call you today, Jake, he's gonna call you tomorrow to inspect it before he starts putting rock on it.
Okay.
So you might wanna go out and
I'll run out.
look at it after the meeting today.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we're darn near done with everything out there, putting all the culverts and everything in.
Okay.
So, Mark, you got anything for me? Where's all my papers at?
You can have these.
Got
I
everything?
need to stamp them first, Kelly.
Got
And then-
You just stamp them.
You got the stamp up here?
I don't.
I'll go downstairs and stamp them and have Amy make you a
Is
copy.
Amy here?
I don't know.
I'm gonna run
Yeah.
downstairs with Dennis real quick.
All right.
I ain't done, so I'll let you stamp.
Okay.
Like I told you guys the other day, we were short hauling this stuff. One spot's right there on 701 where we was dumping it in a guy's field. Another guy was 3/4 of a mile away. We dumped it there until we didn't have no place. And then Ted's got another spot on 751, which is a half mile away. So there's been people come by asking for dirt and stuff, and they live 3-4 miles away, and Ted's been telling them, no, this is a short haul deal. We're not tying up our trucks hauling it across the county.
Okay.
So, wherever he tells me to do with the dirt, that's what I do with it. And like I told him whenever we started this, that I want short hauls. So.
Okay.
Jake, did you have anything?
Yeah. Let's see here. Dale Martin. I think I told you David, but Dale, there at the corner of 651 and 550. He's got a, I guess, the ditch is filled up. He's wanting to know about getting it cleaned out. He said he talked to you. I didn't know what you guys had worked out.
We went down there, and me and him and another Sam went down there and drove the roads and looked at it. Some of it we can ditch. Some of it Ted's going to ditch with the motor grader.
So you've already talked to Ed or Ted about it?
So all three of us have been in communication together and stuff.
Okay. Did Ted know whenabouts he would get that done? He's concerned about that one there so he can get into his fields and get it planted. I haven't talked to him. This is going back and forth from him leaving me messages, I'm leaving him messages.
Okay, I'll talk to Ted today when I'm out there double checking the guy's work
Okay.
and see what kind of timeline he's thinking.
Okay. Just let me know. Or I can let Dale know, or you can let
But we've all been in communication with each
Perfect.
other and stuff.
Sounds good.
Jim, you got anything?
No.
Kelly, you got anything?
Nothing.
How many minutes do I got left to stall?
14.
Oh, I ain't gonna make that much.
Yeah.
That's all I have for you guys.
Okay.
Here we go and see if I
All
can
right.
think of something else.
Okay, all right. Okay, okay, Charlie, you got a couple minutes.
Directed to you two guys. You guys know what's right and wrong?
Yeah.
701 out there, you're ditching it. This makes, what, 2 or 3 times in the last 5 to 7 years. You keep going out further. Next thing you know, you're gonna be taking out the fence. You're hauling the dirt and giving it, going on private ground, which is illegal to even give it away. If you wouldn't ditch it, keep ditching, you wouldn't have that grass.
Is this the same one that you're talking
Yeah.
about?
That is so illegal, all these equipment out there, so many people, you're charging it. How many loads do you think you've taken out?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
100 loads?
How many do you think we've hauled off, Dennis?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, I can tell you pretty close, it's gonna be close to 100.
And I know
You
the guys
replace
told
that
me to get out
with,
there
hey,
right.
I'm talking.
Well, I get to answer your questions.
No, I'm not asking you. How many loads it's gonna take to put back on that road? You're putting whistles because it's going deeper. You gotta put new whistles in. You're going further away, the right of way. You're up against the fence. If you even gave them the okay to do this? does
I'm
the
getting ready to
taxpayer-
run out there this afternoon and take a look
Does the
at
taxpayers
it.
agree with all this, that you're wasting? Giving
The
away
road boards, that's what they've agreed upon, is hauling the dirt off, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's
That
it.
is taxpayers' rock. That's not just dirt. If you wouldn't keep ditching it further and further, go out there and look, you guys, and see.
I'm heading out there this afternoon.
And you won't say nothing. That's why,
Fine.
just like when I tried to get you to take over my road, you said as long as Ted didn't get in there, you
I
would
can't
take.
force
you
somebody to
did.
do something they don't want to do, Charlie.
That's, we're
I can
taxpayers.
ask them to do it. I can't force them to do it.
Taxpayers put you in office
Yes,
to
sir.
take care of
Yes, sir.
things like this.
And
And
I-
that's so illegal, putting all this rock on private ground. That's the taxpayers should be able to say what to do with that. And if you take a motor grader and keep going and going, Who's gonna replace that fence?
Well, hopefully they don't go into the fence. That would
It don't
imagine that
take
falls
much-
on
It
the
don't take much more, cause the ground gets
road
wet.
board.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna look into it.
And what you'll do the same thing you've been doing ever since you've been elected. Nothing.
I'm
Whoever
sorry.
screams the loudest, like throwing a pig underneath a fence, is what you go by.
There's no need to get
All right.
hateful.
I'm not getting hateful, I'm
You
just
just-
stating facts.
Didn't you just call me a pig?
No, I did not call you a pig. I said it's just like a pig going on a fence. Whoever calls the loudest.
I apologize, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you charging
Okay.
those people for that rock? It's only certain people that,
What rock?
and you said that you take.
I thought you were talking about the dirt.
It's not. dirt.
It's not all dirt, it's some
No.
rock in it too. I'll go take a look at it. I don't know
And the
until I
only
take a look
people-
at it.
The only people that's getting this rock is road board members and people close. It's not just 3/4 mile. You take that whole route, that's 4 miles around there. You can be over there at my place and that, around. And I tried to get some a few years back to put on the road and they refused. Ted did.
Okay.
So you're gonna give me some answers the next time I'm in here Tuesday?
I will try.
You gonna stop them on this? You gonna charge them putting these new whistles in?
We're charging to put whistles in, aren't
Yes, sir.
we? Okay, we're charging to put whistles in.
And you wouldn't have had to done that if you keep ditching it.
That I'm not gonna make a ruling on. I don't know why they need to be replaced.
One whistle's going in because, the guy's putting in a new field entrance, and he wanted the same size whistle across.
I'm talking
the
about the
road.
rock, Dennis. And I, yeah, got the floor, not you.
Yeah.
Well, if you wanna answer.
comes-
I'm not asking
Okay.
any answers from you.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
we've got another meeting here and we're gonna have to cut it off. We'll take it under advisement. He can get back with you. Okay?
So is there gonna
We're
be any
done.
smacking of hands on this, getting away with steel and rock?
We'll take it under advisement. Anyway, let's go ahead. We gotta move ahead. Okay?
So who made the ruling on who got the rock? Who's,
Road board.
Road board.
and
Say
that,
what, it didn't come to.
Okay.
and the road board is
we're
the
done.
one that made them.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
be
Charlie.
back.
I'll take it. I'll be in
back
touch with you.
that.
I'll call you.
You gonna call?
I'll call.
Dad for
I'll call
6,
you.
8 months? Yeah.
For the next part of it, do we adjourn?
Good morning,
This
Chris.
one, to go to the
How you
next
doing?
one?
Yeah, the
What?
next is not a public meeting, the next is a meeting with the cities.
This city, municipality.
So
Okay.
we
So we're
will
gonna
have
have
to
to
vote
adjourn.
to
We'll
adjourn,
adjourn here in a minute.
and then when Mark
We're gonna
comes
start over.
back.
Yep.
Okay.
So we gotta get ready for that.
Okay.
Kelly,
Yes, sir,
did you make your copies already?
I did.
Okay.
Thank you.
Moore's all working on it.
Yes, one mower's in, moving out of, Deepwater Township, moving into Walker Township.
Mhm.
And the other mowers are getting ready to leave, Tebow Township and move into Windsor Special.
Okay. Where's the pull at?
This one leaving Deepwater, going into Walker.
Okay.
Yeah, Walker.
Hmm.
And then the two arm mowers are up here just outside of Calhoun. And as soon as they finish up with Tebow, they're gonna move into Windsor Special.
Okay.
Sounds
We're
good.
moving along then. Okay.
Before you.
Yeah, I entertain a motion.
How much it's
Do,
gonna cost for
do I
this?
entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
There's a second. Motion been made, second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay.